Hello, this is Richard Penn, city engineer with the city of Sherwood. I'm in the engineering conference room. I have with me Dennis Webb, who is engineer assistant, and Lon Warnicki, who is engineer inspector. And we would like to give you a little bit of information about the upcoming project, Country Club Road improvements. This is part of the 2018 sales tax projects that were approved in June of 18. The bonds were let in, some of them were let in November of 18. And very soon now, we will have construction beginning on Country Club. The first phase will be relocation of Central Arkansas Water's water main. That'll be requiring about 5 months of work and several street closings, detours, and such. Following that will be relocation of North Little Rock electric lines, maybe some work with the Center Point gas. There will be some work with AT&T. And beyond that, probably the next large activity you see would be the actual road improvements. And I'll turn it over now to our engineer of record, Charles Cullen with Garver Engineers.
Thank you, Richard. As Richard said, my name is Charles Cullen. I'm the project manager. I'm with Garver Engineers based out of North Little Rock. We are doing the roadway and drainage improvements for Country Club Road. This project is approximately 6,000 linear feet of roadway and drainage and sidewalk improvements between North Hills Boulevard to Beaconsfield Road. The main purposes of this project is to improve roadway quality, improve pedestrian safety, improving and increasing drainage capacity, and while also improving the aesthetics of the neighborhood. The existing roadway on Country Club Road, it consists of 11-foot lanes with curb and gutter, which has been deteriorating over several years. It has been overlaid many times over the decades. And so part of this project is that we're going to go in and we're going to rebuild all of the curb and gutter, all of the sidewalk, and all of the drainage. The existing right-of-way through this section is 50 feet. We do not intend to acquire any additional right-of-way. There may be some permanent drainage easements in a few locations where storm pipe is running across a property corner. But we don't expect any significant right-of-way acquisitions throughout the project. Like I said, the proposed improvements are we're going to be rebuilding the curb and gutter, rebuilding sidewalk in its existing locations, plus some sidewalk in new locations to improve connectivity, improving the ramps and the crosswalks to meet ADA compliance, and then while also improving the drainage system along this corridor. As you can see, this is the proposed typical section. The existing roadway has 11-foot lanes with curb and gutter. You know, that existing gutter has been overlaid a bunch of times and has therefore reduced the capacity of that gutter. And so if you go out there and look, the actual asphalt width is 12 feet, but they have overlaid a foot of that gutter, and then they've also put several layers of asphalt on top, leaving only a couple inches worth of curb capacity to catch rainfall. Now there's also going to be a 5-foot sidewalk along here. There'll be and then 4-foot green space between the sidewalk and that curb. I mean, that green space will vary a little bit, but we're going to keep it 4 feet. Some places we'll have to narrow it down to 3 feet or widen it to 5 feet to accommodate some utility poles. But as you can see, the North Little Rock electric utility poles are primarily going to stay in the location that they are. They will move around a little bit, but they're primarily going to stay between sidewalk and that back a curb. And we are going to be reusing the majority of the existing pavement. So we're not going to be widening this road at all. We're going to keep the curb and gutter in the same location. We're going to be doing what's called a notch, which is we're going to cut out that from a foot from the curb line and rebuild that curb, and then we're going to overlay the street when it's done to give it a nice clean look. But we will be reusing the majority of that existing pavement that's out there. So the current status of the project is we are working on the 90% construction plans. While we are working on those plans, utility relocations are about to take place. We have been working with utilities over the past several months to get their utilities relocated. The major relocation that's going to take place is going to be Central Arkansas Water, as Richard had previously stated. And then, as I mentioned earlier, there will be a few easement acquisitions that will happen, and those will be done through OR Cullen, a right-of-way consultant. They will be the ones that will be contacting individual property owners for easement acquisitions. And like I've said, the easement acquisitions will be fairly minor. It's mostly just there near intersections where we have to take a piece of drainage pipe and cut across the corner of a lot. But we don't, like I said, we don't expect any major right of way. One other aspect of this that I need to mention is that, you know, there are dozens and dozens of driveways along the corridor that will be impacted. We will be reconstructing all of the driveways that connect to Country Club. We'll be constructing those to City of Sherwood standard slopes. As a part of that, work, you know, those driveways, you know, some of them will be, you know, extended beyond the right of way. So there may be some temporary construction easements that may need to be donated or acquired as part of the construction work for the driveway reconstructions. You know, the current schedule, Central Arkansas Water, they have hired a contractor for their relocation. They are going to begin in late March, early April. The primary impacts, they're going to be relocating their line. It's going to be mostly in the southern lane, the eastbound lane of Country Club, and there will be periodic lane closures and travel impacts associated with that. They intend to have their work completed by the early summer. AT&T has a few relocations that they need to do. Theirs are fairly minor. They're going to start in late March or early April, and you know, they'll be completed by early June. And then North Ark Electric, they are going to be relocating some of their poles, and they anticipate having their relocations done by the mid to late summer. So in the road construction schedule, right now we are looking at advertising for bids in the late spring. We are aiming for construction to begin in early to mid summer with an estimated construction time of 450 calendar days. We are going to post a comment form as well as a project map on the website. The comment form, you can, if you would please fill out and either mail or email that comment form to the contact information listed on the form. And we will compile those comments, and we will review those comments and address those as necessary. So I think with that, that's all we have for this part of the presentation. And like I said, if you would just fill out that comment form and return to the contact information listed on the form by March 31st, and we will work on incorporating those comments. Thank you everybody for listening, and please let us know if you have any questions or comments. Thank you.